Are you tired of being awesome alone? So are we. So we had the most awesomest cosplayer ever, Bar Fox, join us today. Let's go be awesome together.
Let's
All
try.
right. So what do we do on Be Awesome Together, Tyra?
We talk about shelf watch.
Okay, what is shelf watch? We do indeed.
Okay, so I
We
have
do.
this shelf in my house that my husband is supposed to replace with a better shelf, and he hasn't. So we have shelf watch, but we've turned it into what we're doing in our life or what's exciting us or what's giving us joy. So, Charles, what is your shelf today?
Bar. I've been looking forward to this. So,
Oh.
a few years ago, when I first started being the director, I guess, well, okay, this is my 10th year directing. A few years ago, at some point, I was just finding people to put on panels and searching keywords. And I forget how you popped up on the radar for whatever panel we were doing. I'm like, that's a cool name, Bar Fox. His mama liked him. That's awesome. And I put you on a panel and everybody said you're fantastic, but I didn't get to meet you. So then the next year, I'm like, that's a cool name. I'm putting on a panel with me, and then we had the best conversation, and it was amazing. And then I had you on Finding the Stories, and we did some other things. So every year, I take my little privilege as a director to go, I'm going to make a panel where I can sit and talk to Bar till I get to see him. Even though we live here and we work in some of the same circles, we never get to see each other. So that's kind of my good thing on the
I
shelf.
love that.
I know. What's
Thank
on
you.
your shelf?
What's on my shelf right now. My good thing on the shelf right now is just expanding. I have an interview coming up with iHeartRadio next week.
Ooh.
Yeah. Um, and then teaming up like last year I did Good Day Atlanta, where I went into Goodwill, and I created a costume out of only the things in Goodwill for the person interviewing me. And then Goodwill reached out to me, and then we
Oh,
did a fashion show for Halloween where we only picked stuff from the store and turned it into costumes.
wow.
So what's on my shelf? Partnerships,
I
expansion,
like that.
people understanding creativity and embracing that, because that's what I love to do.
I love that.
That's amazing. What's on your shelf, Tyra?
Freshman.
Good shelf, bad shelf.
Good shelf. I'm teaching freshmen for the first time in over 2 decades, and they turn in assignments early.
She's not talking about high school though, right?
No, I have college freshmen. They're still scared. It's first week. And they've met me and they're kind of like, you don't look like what I thought a college professor would look like. But okay, let's go with it. So that's on my shelf and learning to say no. Because no
Oh,
is really important because when you say yes, you need to think about what am I going to now say no to that I'm already doing. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to learn balance because I.
Yeah, me too.
oh,
No,
I do.
I figured that. I already knew.
You can figure it out.
He hit the max of 10 panels this week, I'm sure.
How many? Can you read it? Like we need to get 18-year-olds to read our
So,
things.
so it was funny because for a while I was doing like up to like 13, 15
Yeah.
panels, and I was like, I love it because I love everyone, but can we pull it back?
Yeah.
Because I do want to enjoy the con from a spectator POV. So I was like, can we just get it back under 10 at least? Under 10.
Yeah.
What are you doing this
And that's the
time?
rule now. Is
It-
10's the
Yep.
max.
I
Ten
know,
max.
yeah. I think I was instrumental in
You and a few
helping
other
that get
people, yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Bless you.
So I think I have an 8 or a 7, which is
That's
that's
good.
good.
Nice.
I'll take it. It's better than
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Because by 15, that battery has drained.
Mhm.
You know, there's going to be a point in that day where your battery's just gone.
I do have one more thing.
Ooh.
You have to give me a second though.
Okay.
I
Oh
get
my
to
God!
thank
Don't
you.
get naked. It's not that hour yet. The hissing
We
and
got to 10
kissing girls
o'clock.
will be here at 10, honey.
Oh, those
And they
girls
want
kill
you.
me. I can't do it. But I do have a debut jersey
Yay!
that I bought just for.
Wow, we
love
are
it.
awesome
So
together.
I got
love
the
it.
Be Awesome Together logo. I got my owls on the sleeve.
Oh,
That's
Got my
dope.
stuff. So there we go.
hooty hoo! I love it.
I love that.
Charles.
First time in 10 years I've had to do a costume change at Dragon Con, but I'm getting there.
In front of people. Thank
Hey,
you for the undershirt.
I didn't charge extra this time.
Again, after 10, it gets interesting in here.
All right. We are talking about mastering your niche,
Mm.
right?
Well,
And
do they know what a niche is?
Well, why don't you educate them?
I
Give
do
these
that-
freshmen some homework.
I do that for the living. So, do you guys know what a niche market is? So, like when you target market, you're trying to figure out like who are those people, and a lot of times it's a very specific group, and that can really help you because you can play to that. So now, Charles, I got.
As I'm crunching ice, like I do on the show every week. I'm
No,
just
it's
bringing
true,
you the
and
real
every
experience.
week I catch him when he's scratching eyes.
So I don't know that I've mastered any niches at all. Although I'd say the digital media track is probably as close to it as I'm getting right now, but it's going really well. And you've got multiple niches. You're cosplay your way.
Yes.
Oh, I
Good.
love cosplay. Your
I got it
way.
wrong so many
Dude.
times when I saw it do it. I had it on the shirt, and I was like, cosplay my way.
They read it.
Yeah. And Tyra, you have cozy everything, honestly.
I try to cozy.
You do. You got you.
But I go for an entertainer, writer, entrepreneur mix when I talk about my marketing. So I'm a digital marketer by trade, and so when I look at who can I help market themselves, I usually fall into entertainment categories, particularly writers, musicians, and entrepreneurs. So those would be my niches, and I do write cozy fantasies because let's all be cozy together.
So this is an interactive instructional show. We like to share stories. We like to educate. If you have specific questions about anything you're doing and dealing with, that's what the microphone here is for. I've heard the batteries are dying, so you may have to just shout really loudly, but it's there. Stand up, ask your question, and we'll take it. So how'd you get into the niche of cosplay?
Wow. So it was just called costuming back in the day when
Okay.
I started. But so I was actually here when it switched to cosplay on a mass level for me. I think it has been out for a while. But I came here because a friend of I love to dress up, loved Halloween. Just it couldn't get enough. It's the best time of the year. I waited every year for it, and I didn't have a real excuse to get dressed up in costume unless I was doing a play or something. And then I had a friend that said, "Hey, it's a lot of people dressed up downtown. Why are you not there?" And I'm like, "I don't know why I'm not there. I'm going. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to join in on this."
Thank you.
And so I got there, and it was a year that I was modeling for another convention, but I came here and fell in love. And when I saw that I was the odd man because I didn't have on a costume that day, I
Yeah.
loved it. That was exactly what I was looking for. I wanted to feel weird because I was not in the costume. So I was like, "You guys have lost it. I'm going to grab all my costumes at home. I'm ready, and I'm going to just kill this weekend." So that's how it got started. And that year, it was so wonderful because Brian Humphrey, one of the photographers here,
Yes.
it was his first year there, and he shot me for the first time, and I was one of his first pictures, and he was one of my first photographers, and all of this organic things happened that year, and it just made me fall in love. And umpteen years later, I'm here.
We
We don't talk about how.
I definitely left the years out. Umpteen years later.
But Brian also has, I mean, like his niche market a lot of times is cosplayers,
Mhm.
and so it doesn't matter what field you're in, you can find that niche.
Oh yeah,
I think.
absolutely, absolutely.
So why do you love cosplay? I just want to know.
Oh yeah, I can tell you, it's easy. The creativity, the visual impact, the ability to become something else or someone else if you want to, the ability to tweak it and approach it from a different perspective. I work in television and film, so I'm all about altering things and changing it up a little because without people taking chances and risks, you don't get the new embodiment of anything. So I'm so big on reinventing and reimagining, and cosplay allows me to do that.
It's true. You
So
can be
is,
somebody else for a little while.
Yeah, somebody else for a little while.
is this the when Prince guest starred on Scooby Doo? Look, is that what? Sorry.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm doing my version of Hocus Pocus, Mary
Okay.
Sanders.
Oh, yes, because
They-
of, yes,
Yes.
of the
Yeah.
hair.
So we have
Oh my gosh.
so we have two of us. So Dean's List, costume designer Dean's List is here. So he's one of the other Hocus Pocus members. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I love gender bending stuff.
I love gender bending.
I want to do a Sherlock Holmes so bad.
You would be awesome.
Thank you.
You would be awesome. I did my when she I did my first gender bend as Raven. And
Okay.
yeah.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh my goodness. So that story was hilarious because I was nervous. I had never seen anybody do a gender bend at that time. And Raven is a very sexy character. So I remember going to my designer at the time and I was like, hey, design this, make it more masculine. And she was like, okay, cool. When I got the costume, I still had slits on the side, all the way up to my waist. I had thigh boots, and I was like, you know what? Let's
Do
just
it.
do
Let's
it.
see it.
Let's go for it. And it's one of my favorite looks today.
I
It
would say
really
it was
is.
life changing.
It was life changing.
That is amazing. It was 2 years ago you did Maleficent, not Maleficent. I don't want Cruella. Yes,
Yeah.
Cruella. And that one in the best way possible made me never want to do cosplay because I cannot afford to look that fabulous. So I'll just be broke and plain. I'll be okay.
But you have hockey jerseys.
I do have my.
It
it
is.
is.
I mean, that is his niche right here.
I stole it from Kevin Smith, but I expanded on it. See, I got cool stuff on there.
Cool
I
stuff.
did. Uh, so you have a documentary
I do.
on cosplay,
Yes.
and how did that get started?
That was so exciting when I found it. I was like, oh my gosh, this book.
Are you able to check that? Loved it. Okay, so a combination of things. One, luckily, I was keeping a record of things that I was doing. I was doing photo shoots. I was doing things in the cosplay community, and I was like, I want to keep this for when I become old. I want to be able to look at it and say, look at what I did.
when I
Wasn't
was
even
sexy.
thinking about anything else. And then COVID hit, and I was like, oh, I have all this creative energy. What am I going to do with it? So I was like, I have a lot of footage. And I'm a trained editor,
Yeah.
and I do want to watch it when I'm older. So maybe I'll just make it a movie and just watch that so I don't have to watch everything. So I just started editing and then I started getting into it and I was like, this is turning out better than I thought. And I was like, let me tweak it some more because I work in television and film. So of course I just, got the sound together, got it colored. And then I was like, what can I do with it next? And one of my friends said, put it in a film festival. And I was like, well, why would anybody care about my story in a film
Isn't that
festival?
all of our thoughts? Why would anybody care?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like imposter syndrome in many ways.
Yes.
I know.
I was like, why would they care? And she said, put it in a film festival. So I was like, cool. I put it in a film festival. And she said, and see what the tellies will think. Send it to the tellies and see if you win anything. And I was like, win something? Are you crazy? And she was like, yes, send it. So I sent it to Telly. I put it in the film festival. Won 2 Telly Awards for
Oh,
the
wow.
documentary. And I was like, wow, thank you. And then the film festivals were eating it up. At first, I didn't pay attention, but then it made it to Cannes short film. It made it to South Africa. It went to New York
Look at
Comic
you.
Con. So it was going all these places, and I was like so excited. So people were hitting me up, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna play your documentary. Can you send us some promo items?" And I'm like, "Sure." So
Let me
I-
get those promo items
right.
made.
So I did that for a while. and-
ChatGPT, what's a promo item?
right. So I did that for a while, and then luckily, for the documentary "Cosplay Your Way in Color," for those of you that don't know, Amazon Prime called me.
I know.
Prime Video reached out to me. I was so I'm like, what do you want? What did I do?
No more deliveries. Sorry.
Right. Well, I'm like, what's wrong? And they were like, we would like your documentary. We would like to air it. Let's just go over it. It's a couple of things we need to tweak, and then after that, we are putting it on Amazon Prime. And I was like, whoa. So I was very, very, very happy. Very, very flattered. And I love that I just took a chance on myself. And I want other people to do that for themselves as well. Just take a chance on yourself, put it out there, get past your nervousness. If my friend hadn't said, put it in the film festival, if she hadn't said, go for the Telly Awards, I might not be here today. It might not have done what it's done. And, I'm happy now to have the first cosplay documentary, especially for people of color. It's the very first one.
Now, do you have something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Would you say, because finding your niche, we know how you got to it. You're like, oh, this, that. But internally, because we can all be trying to do a whole bunch of different things that we'd like to do.
Yeah.
How did you decide this is my thing for your passion? Like, because you tried it, right? But everybody can try something. You don't do it to the level you're doing it. You don't make a documentary about it. You don't get, yeah. How did you, in those early days, lock in? This is what I like to do about myself or perform for myself.
Because a lot of trial and error, guys. When I was younger, I was lucky enough to have a TV show where I was a host, like these wonderful people here, and I was like, I want to go behind the camera. I mean, usually it's the other way, people want to get in front of the camera, but I wanted to go behind the camera, and I did. So I started trying to help out with the shooting, blocking, and then I grew into editing. And then after becoming an editor, I said, well, I want to make sure I create content for people that I want to create it for, I want to represent in certain ways. So then I started producing. And when I got to produce, I was able to be more of an influence there. And so because I kept going in those spaces and places, I was able to also bring in things that I love, like music. So when I worked with Magic Johnson, I was able to create a show called Jam Sessions where I brought in people to perform, and they had to do it acoustically. I wanted to hear the raw voice, but allowing me to do those things and combine the things I love was what gave me
Mm.
more confidence. And then as I continued to grow in the television and film, and then I'm cosplaying, it was for so long it was these two different worlds
Right.
that was going here, and I loved it because it helped me keep balance. I got something to do creatively, and then my work is creative as well. But here is,
Gotta pay the bills.
yeah, you got to pay the bills. And then I got the opportunity to combine these two things that I love dearly, and just see what happens. And again, guys, I'm telling you, I was really just like, I could watch this when I'm 82 years old. That was my thought process. So for it to be such a impact or have such an impact is so impressive to me, and I love it. I'm still astonished every time I think about it and see it sometimes, because the original goal, I was confident in my skill set, but the original goal was to just create something for me later. And I'm just so happy that those things came together and made such a nice gumbo for me to share with others.
Well, and I think sometimes as creatives, we're creating for ourselves.
Hmm.
You know, we
Yeah.
oftentimes create for ourselves first, and then we're shocked when other people are excited about what we're creating, whatever that is, whether it's cosplay or for writing or whatever. And I think with yours, one of the things that strikes me is that representation is so important, and how much you have brought to the cosplay community in that sense, because it was so needed.
Yeah.
And to have that. So, like, I'm a writer, and one of the things that if you read romance, they're all young girls in their 20s. And that's a lovely time in life, but I far past that. So I write women in their 40s finding love instead of in their 20s. Because that's where I am, and I write about women that are curvy because I am curvy,
Yes.
and I want to read that. So by creating that, we're creating for our niche, but we're also part of that
Absolutely.
process.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it comes down to I say a lot that you need to be self-centered, not selfish. Selfish takes from people. Self-centered is you take care of yourself. We should start with your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health. But like I said, you create for yourself because I tried so many different things. Like, well, if I do this thing that I kind of like, I see other people like, they'll like me, and it didn't work. And once I started doing what I wanted to do for myself, I think anybody who does that, as we've all three said here, you find that most like somebody else like that and
Mhm.
some else and that's you be the representation you want to see, and that's how I narrowed down to my niche, which is just talking and telling people what to do. So that's but
Charles likes a good story.
I do love, yeah, I do, I really grew up on Garrison Keeler and listening to the radio stories and those kind of things, and I think storytelling is an art that if we're not careful we'll lose, because 30-second swipes is not working for
Right.
our society and definitely not for me. But you have to do what you love and do it because you love it. And it does blow my mind. 'Cause my mind is wired to monetize everything, produce, show, reach the world. That's the way. And when somebody goes, "Oh, I record a podcast," this is a friend of mine. It's a true story. I record a podcast. It really is just an excuse to talk to my friend. I said, "Well, where do you publish it?" It's just sitting on my computer somewhere. I'm like, "You're killing me, man. You got content. You're not putting it up." But he likes creating. Really just likes the opportunity to talk in a way that's not just chatting with friends,
Right.
but does not
Has
care that
structure.
anybody else sees it. And that's perfectly fine.
It's fine. It is fine. I definitely believe people should love something, and the thing that they do love, try to make that a part of their existence. I think why some things work so well is because it was built out of pure love and passion for it, And initially, they're not setting out to get monetization from
Right.
it and all the accolades. Now, do you realize we're in a world where that stuff is a plus? I'm get your money if you can get your money, get it. But at the same time, yeah, putting your heart into something. That's why a lot of first projects in music are just so good, and then the follow-up sophomores are not sometimes. Be-
Yes.
mhm,
And a lot of times, if you ever read somebody's second book and it's not as good as the first, it's because the first took years,
mhm,
and the second one they had to put out in a year because they
mhm.
got published. And so there, it's not as crafted because they haven't spent as much time on it. And I think the other thing that happens is you get burnt out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that when you hit that wall of creativity, and this happened to me during COVID, and trying to find my way back to writing was painful. And so I'm interested if you've ever had a moment where you hit that wall and were like, I don't want to do my
Well,
hair today.
I do want to come to that, but
No.
no, hold on. We honor our chat room, Tyra, and in chat, our station
Oh.
booth said, "Get that thing." So I put it up. It's up on the screen. Thank you. All right. So
That's
was
what we
there?
would do at our
Yeah.
show. And
What-
also by now I would have said first
Station
station,
booth.
and I would have said Valencia. So I feel better.
So there, I popped our chat up.
I
Now we
get
can.
it. I
So yes,
appreciate
is there a time you hit that wall of, I just don't want to do it?
Absolutely. I've hit the wall a lot.
It sucks.
And it does suck. And you question yourself and you get mad at yourself and you say, why did I put all of this time and energy into X when I should be doing Y because it looks better? But you have to just be true to yourself. And in those stages and in those places, I really have realized for me, it just means I need to take a break and step back and recharge. I'm exerting too much of myself. I'm being pulled in too many directions, and too many people at that time are in my ear for me at that time. Because a lot of people, as you get successful, as you all, I'm sure know, people come with their suggestions. People come with what they think you should
Yeah.
do,
Oh,
how
yeah.
it should be done, and you're looking like, and I'm open to suggestions, but I'm also like, well, we got here without you. You don't do this at all.
Mhm.
Why do you have the recipe to take it to the next level? Because if you do, why are you not doing it for yourself in some way? And those are things that you have to balance with. And you have jealous associates, you have people that are frenemies. I've had a couple of those where you thought they were on your team and you're vulnerable with them
Yep.
and they are working towards something else and you don't find out until you take the hit. So the hitting that wall happens very, very often. What I love about my life thus far is I have gotten up from every trip. Every time I was tripped, I've gotten up and sometimes gotten up a lot better. So I know now that if you halt me or if I trip, that I can still get back up. I know it's not over because it's a way to pivot. And in my industry, in my life, pivot is a key word, is something,
Yes.
right?
Oh. So how do you know when to pivot?
Um, I think it hits you. Like when you are like fighting and you're constantly hitting that wall and you ask yourself why is this not working 15 times, then you like, okay, no, it's time to pivot. That's for me because I am just kind of beaten on a rock and I have to accept that. And I've told myself if I talk to my friends or I call them and I say the same thing too many times, they have every allowance to just tell me, you know what, you've already told me that 6 times, do something about it. I don't want to hear about it anymore. And I don't get offended. I don't get offended because that means I've called them.
Thinks they love you.
Yeah, they love me. I called them and I've said it too many times. They're like, change it or don't
Yeah.
change it, but don't keep calling me about it. And those are my times when I'm like, let me go back to the drawing board and figure out what I need to do because I'm also playing a part in this or in this as well. So what do I need to do to change it? What can I do, and what am I doing to keep this place in my life that I'm not a fan of so prominent? I have to change it. So I do a lot of self-reflection.
Self-reflection, I think, is so important. We don't talk enough about reflecting upon where you've been and where you want to go.
Yes.
And I may need that door closed.
Yeah.
and
So, Cos, would
I
you mind?
suck-
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry about
We were
the
trying to keep
airflow.
it cooler, but yeah.
You loud people out there.
Are they
I'm going to come back to a point you said about people getting in your ear
Yes.
because I get that way more than I ever thought I would. Where somebody gets, it's like looking at an elephant through binoculars when you're standing next to it. They get just a small part of what you do. Oh man, you do that. You need to come do this. Is like instantly, I know in my soul that's not right for me. And I can't tell you how many times somebody has heard like 30 seconds of a podcast I've done, didn't understand podcasting, didn't listen long enough to understand what I do. And they're like, oh, you should talk to this person. You should talk to this person. I was like, I don't know where to find that person. I don't know how to track them down. I don't know if they fit with anything I'm doing. So how do you filter that out? Because they're being positive.
They are.
They're not trying to frenemy you. They're not trying to steal from you, but they are going, oh, you should now go sign up for this TV show and be this cosplayer on it. And you know that's just not right for you. How do you
Right.
sort that?
I actually have a couple of strategies. For some people who do it too often, and I've tried to tell them to pull back, I put it in their lap. Great idea. Would love that to happen. I don't know how to do it. Why don't you get it started for me, and then I'll follow your lead into that. So that really eliminates a lot of those people because they don't know how to do it themselves either. Other people, I do talk to them and ask them, when you're talking to me and you're giving suggestions, and I appreciate it, do you actually take time to consider me and what you know about me when you're making?
Do you actually ask them that?
Yeah, I ask them.
I love that.
I do.
Were you born in the South? I don't understand this challenging
Where are you
thing.
from exactly?
I'm from Ohio, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody's, oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
'Cause I'm a Southern woman and I have issues.
I have
You
issues
know?
too.
I do. Like one of my problems is I say yes to everybody because it's the kind thing to do, and then I wake up. I'm like, I didn't say yes to myself.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and that's I. So at some point during our show, we always have a Taylor Swift moment, and because I'm a Swift kid, it drives her crazy. I am because we're Chiefs fans. But
Go
one of
Birds.
the things she says was, you need to think about your energy as if it's expensive, as if it's a luxury item,
Mm.
and not everyone can afford it.
Woo, yes.
And that hit me because I was like, "Oh, girlfriend, you are right yet again."
Okay, you have to text me that one for caffeination. That's spot on.
I agree with that. Again, I was lucky enough growing up. I think because I was able to have a local TV show early in my life, I went on another journey of just preserving my energy because I couldn't get caught up in the stuff at school because I had to be on air that weekend.
Oh, so you were in school doing
Yeah,
it.
I was in school. I was in high school.
Look
So
at you.
I didn't have time to get caught up in the mess. I didn't have time to start stuff. I needed my grades up for my parents to let me do my extracurricular. I needed to have my personality and energy great to be live when the camera turned on. I was also dancing and doing choreography. So I was working with groups that came to the city, or professional groups, and they would call me and my friends, and we would dance for them when they came into the city. So I was doing my dance routines. I was in circles, so I just didn't have time. So my time became precious. Now, with that being said, I'm still a yes person. I'm yes. Oh
Mm.
yeah. Oh, I'll help you. I always help them.
That's how I get them on a panel every year.
You want to
I'm a-
lift people up.
I'm a yes person. I'm connecting you to my contacts. I'm saying, oh my God, I know a way you can do that better or quicker, or I can help you. I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
Mm.
I don't necessarily take enough time for myself. I never have. So I don't even know what that looks like
I'm
to
gonna say
do
now
that.
you can't teach me that, and that's what I need to be taught.
I can't teach you that. What I am good at and what I have always been good at is, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And then you mistreat me hard now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
been there.
Oh
But-
yeah,
But there's
lines.
people
Yeah.
who learn that about you and can get you right there, manipulate you to where you are not fully mistreated, right? I mean, that's the hard one.
I don't know. I have a feeling this. No.
Well, okay, seasoned bar fox. I don't think you're gonna be, but I recently realized somebody had learned what gets me interested in things. I didn't see it,
Mhm.
and you were part of that journey through the
Was-
former job I had.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
And like I look back and I should have said no. Should have said no. And now I'm at that point. I see her on TikTok that was a little skit that was animated, and something like, "What's your superpower?" is, and the superpower was you gotta say no and not give any explanations. Like, "Oh man, can I call you for life advice?" Life advice. The guy goes, "No." and it just stops. I'm
I
like,
know.
and it hurts a little bit,
It
but I've
does.
had to push myself coming up. I learned something from every adventure that I do. Every path I take, I learned something. And fortunately, I'm following the Dragon Con rule, which is we all make mistakes. Let's try to make different mistakes.
Oh,
And so
Yeah,
I've been
I
making
like that
different
one.
mistakes. And I've learned if it doesn't put food on my table and or bring me joy to my life,
Right.
I'm just going to say no. And I'm not going to say sorry no.
mhm.
Like if Tyra brought me something one day, I'd be like, no. And it's hard.
And then I look
So
at going,
well, see, that's I try to do it on the phone where I can't see her. Like, no. And then she'd be like, but Charles, say what? Tyra, how tired are you right now? Tyra, how many grades do you have to go? Yeah, but it helps, right? We help each
we
other
do.
that way.
We say,
And so even my kids got mad at work or there's something going on. It's like, why do you care? Well, but do they put food on your table? Well, for them, do they give you whatever you want for your car and Starbucks or whatever? Or does it bring joy to your life? Because you can learn. I love learning. So I've gone through a lot of hard situations intentionally. Not, I didn't know it was gonna be hard, but I stayed in. My wife's like, why don't you quit? Because my past's not done. That's all I can tell her. Like, I just know my past's not done because I'm learning something. I might be angry, I might be tired, but I'm learning something. And I think it is key, going back to the Taylor Swift thing, talking about what you're doing, value yourself. And it's so hard to go from, you think it's easy to go, I made this documentary because I valued myself. I wanted it just to see it, to then come to that spectrum of Amazon comes to you and you don't have to divulge the details. I don't know if you can, but did you negotiate a good value for yourself from Amazon?
Um, I want to say now, not necessarily a good one, not a great one. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes
it was
sense.
also
Yeah.
your first.
It
Was
was-
it your first time really?
For me, having a project like that, because the other stuff that I had, I was working at a network, so it
Right.
was able to go on the air. But for me to have something that came just from me and my thought process and putting it up there, it was like wow. So I was really excited and just flattered. So with those things, you don't necessarily ask for
Exactly.
what you want. And now that you brought up people learning you and learning how to manipulate, of course I'm subjected to that as well,
Oh yeah.
because most of us are, and it could be family members or friends or people that you hold dear, and sometimes you've just been there for them so much, and you've helped them so
Wow.
much
Yeah.
that they just don't. Oh, I know you're busy. I know you are taking care of yourself. I just need this one thing, and you say just one thing, I can do it. But of course,
It's not one thing.
It's never one thing. It's never.
It
One
never.
Boundaries are so hard. Anyway.
We do want your questions. Now that we've told you about boundaries and value and this, please step up the microphone and ask your questions. We're gonna keep going because that's what we do. But all right, we got one coming up. Two people coming up.
Oh, we got people walking.
Um,
I'm excited. Do you know
and
what I
as you-
want to say?
What?
No is a complete sentence.
It is a complete sentence.
Ooh, it's also
There- yeah.
feedback.
And
Okay.
what? Oh, so I'm gonna repeat that for the audience. If you don't have to explain a yes, you don't have to explain a no. That is very good. The key that I heard you say in that negotiation was you got a good,
Yes.
not great. There's so many people that are honored and flattered. And, oh my God, they get a bad deal because they didn't value themselves. Yes, ma'am.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. First off, I'm Valencia. I'm a dedicated fan to
We
them.
love Valencia.
Yeah. My statement or question is for Bar. Like I told you earlier, 2 years ago, I saw you for the first time in the what is it? The
Corella.
yeah,
Okay.
Corella outfit, and you were talking about yourself and how you started, and at that point I had just started coming to Dragon Con in 2019. So I didn't think about dressing up, and then it's like within the past year or two I've been wanting to gradually want to do something. So far it's just been t-shirts, like just wearing a random t-shirt of like yesterday was Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Today is
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. So it's like tomorrow will be a Kendrick Lamar related type
Oh,
thing.
okay.
It's a mustard and TV related. If you know the song TV off, it'll be like I have like earrings with TV on it and a necklace and a mustard t-shirt. So, but yeah, so I'm gradually trying to get there
Hmm.
because now I'm motivated, and you motivated me.
Oh my God!
Right.
Thank
It's
you.
like I didn't think about it before. It was like people would ask me, "Oh, are you gonna dress up?" No, I don't have to dress up, but I get motivated now to wanna come up with ideas of how to come to DragonCon.
Oh my God!
That's awesome.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for saying that because a lot of people, when we think good things, we don't share. Tell people. so
You're
we
right.
Oh my
know.
gosh.
I love
You're
you
right.
for that. Thank
We
you so
should
much.
challenge all of you to tell somebody who has impacted your life that they did.
I will tell you one of the biggest influences later in my life have been the drag queen friends that I've met and the LGBT community. Because there, it's always fabulous. So I've adopted a little bit. If I see somebody, I go, man, you look great today. You look fabulous. And it just is a moment. Nobody, it's not a reflection on who I am or any of my sexualities. Who I am is I'm giving kindness. And I see somebody that I appreciate something you did, something you're wearing, something you said. I will try to say it in whatever way I want to say it, and that is what you're getting, Valencia, and that's amazing.
Absolutely. You have situations like back to when you said burnout, and when you're burning out or you're hitting walls and you're saying, "Why am I doing this?" or "What is it all for?" And then I remember, well, Valencia stood up and said, "I inspired her." Sometimes that's enough to get me back on
Right.
track. Sometimes it really is, and I'm being completely honest about that.
Yeah.
And you never know how you impact other people. I mean, and you can do it in ways that one day I said an off comment to a female student about that was really intelligent of you. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
4 years later, she told me that changed exactly how she saw herself.
Wow.
Nobody ever told her she was smart. She never thought she was any of those things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I threw that out without thinking, but it impacted her life. So we don't understand all those connections that we make.
Make your normal nice and kind. You do it without thinking because we throw out so many little funny, snarky things or just flat out mean things, and it can change a life just as much as that kind thing.
True. I'm not the well. I am snarky to Charles, but we have
Yeah.
a nice relationship.
Questiones.
Hi.
Hi. So, forgive me if I'm taking up too much time here.
Yep,
I'll
you're
try to
done.
like
Bye.
phrase my
No.
question concisely, but I'm in a situation where I feel like me and my wife, we've kind of already found our niche in a lot of ways because we've spent the past 5 years making a visual novel, which is a very, very niche subgenre of video games as a whole. It's based off adventure games. Some of you guys might know about visual
Yeah.
novels. And we've had a lot more luck and success with it than I thought we were, because what you guys said before about just following what feels right to you, that's really how it got started. We weren't trying to like make money or anything. I just really wanted to make a visual novel like the kind that I enjoyed, because I felt like there weren't enough of them in the American market specifically. And that like bloomed to the point where we're like going to the Tokyo Game Show next month. We got a publisher and our
amazing.
game is going to be paneled there, which is cool, but
So frightening.
it frightening, but it brings up the point that I wanted to kind of like ask you guys, because I feel like me and my wife, we've kind of found our niche. Like our game's relatively successful. We made our money back. It's got 96% positivity rating on Steam.
Whoa.
But there's one thing we haven't been able to like handle, and that's whenever we typically talk to strangers about the game or like show them that, hey, it's a visual novel, they see the anime art style, they see it's not a parody of something, and they're like, oh, is this porn? Or I haven't heard of this before. They just immediately default to like a bad faith interpretation of it because they haven't, they're not familiar with that
Yeah.
genre. Meanwhile, this doesn't happen in Japan for us. It doesn't happen in Poland, Russia. It's like entirely a cultural prejudice because
Maybe
most-
we're just looking for porn.
Well,
but
that's what you
granted, a lot of them in Japan are porn, but
That's
ours
true.
aren't.
Sorry.
But the main thing is we haven't had this problem with the international audience. In fact, like of our game sales, only about 25% have been in the US. The rest has been international. So the main thing I wanted to ask is, like what do you guys do when you have a niche that you're passionate about that you're really going like full energy towards, but there's a cultural barrier that you can't really seem to overcome, you can't really seem to win people of a certain demographic over, no matter how you spin it, no matter how passionate you are. They're just like, this isn't a postmodern thing, so why should I care? That's been like our
Okay.
big obstacle.
Okay.
So one question.
Yes.
Tell us what the product is so we know.
It's called Sirens Call Escape Velocity. It's a psychological horror visual novel where you're trying to leave Florida, but Florida doesn't want you to leave. Imagine a
This is why
mixture.
people don't want to read it, because that's true. That's just true
Yeah,
crime.
it's
right
a
there.
black hole.
That's
The
real life.
the duality of Florida is
Right.
NASA's there, and you're constantly trying to launch people into space, but everything about Florida is about sucking you in and keeping you there as long as
Yeah.
possible. And the main character is trying to say goodbye to his friends at the end of the summer, and his friends are like, "Hey, buddy, you sure you want to leave? It'd be awful lonely without you." And the game is you having to say goodbye to your friends that are fallen under the
Oh.
influence of the state. It's like a mixture of Silent Hill 2, Persona
God.
4,
I'm
and
buying
Doki
that for you,
Doki.
Tyra, as a workbook for your life.
Oh,
It's
Say
on
no to
Steam.
people.
It's on Steam,
That's amazing.
$10. Read it. Don't piss off Judith.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, our publisher immediately understood, picked it up, was like, yeah, this is like Higurashi. We will push this. But I'll tell strangers about it in America, and they'll be like, so I don't get it. Is it like a joke? And it's like, no, it's not a joke. It's a sincere story.
So I've
Okay,
got.
go now. I had to know.
No,
what
you're
it
fine.
was.
No, it's a great question. It
Yeah.
gave me a little more refinement.
Yes.
I got basically three things.
Yes.
First off, be a cult. Number one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, first off, if they don't get it, they're not for you. Don't care.
Right.
You're not here for every market. That's why I originally got. Everyone says I made it up. You can't prove it. I got the moniker rock out of podcasting. And what it has done is put a very clear wall in front of me that is this small. It is the wall is this small. And if you can't get past this little hurdle, we're not going to work together. I can't explain it. I can't tell you who I am. Everything in that name tells you the kind of energy I'm going to bring to a project. So when you go, yeah, cool. We didn't waste months, days, years, whatever, working on something wrong. So don't worry about it. Second is be a cult, which means if you can't be the drinking the Kool-Aid person, which a lot of us are for our own product. For our own product, it's hard to sell, but I can tell you about how awesome Bar is. I can tell you how awesome Tyra is all day long. I'll be that cult leader. If you get some people who get it and they're that cult for you, it's not a real cult, but it's that we don't care. We drink the Kool-Aid. We're going to talk to you about it. This is what it is. Cool. Come join us.
Right.
And then basically just keep doing what you're doing. You found the people who understood it.
Mhm.
Keep following that path and go to where you're welcome. And
That-
it may never be home. There are so many people in the U.S., musicians especially, that are massive. Everywhere else, here nobody gives a crap.
There's something heartbreaking about that, but
Yeah.
I think it's true. You
Yeah.
know, like that's kind of just the one thing that I've kind of, it's been hard to accept, but hearing it from another source definitely makes it fall into place. I will gladly be a cult leader.
Yeah.
They're like, Florida, how exotic.
I would
Yeah.
imagine that when Bar started in cosplay, you had to explain what cosplay was
Absolutely.
to your own community.
I had to explain it. I had to take the eyes rolling. I had to take the "you're so weird" or "what are you talking about" or "why are you dressing up in costumes." I definitely had to take that. And as you stated, things are not for everybody. But a trick, because I work in the industry, that you can do is get buzz created for you through other avenues, write-ups, different things. So when you meet a person and they're starting to say, "What are you talking about?" Be like, "Oh,
That's
you
us.
know what? Why don't you check out my article? Or do you read such and such? Are you familiar with the?" Go to the article. When people see that it's someone else that noticed
Yeah.
it,
That
Right.
validates
that
you.
validation,
Yeah.
then they're like getting more on board. Like I said, you don't have to have them because your niche is your niche and you need to work with the people and cultivate those. But I definitely understand wanting new eyes on your product.
Mhm.
I definitely understand wanting to expand. That's what we all want once we start getting started. But yeah, use both of those methods. Create the buzz, do the articles, do the podcast, do the different things where people will see it and it floods them. And then if they question you, You can say, "Oh, what? You can look at this article. You can read this podcast. You can look at."
You like deflect
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
I mean,
skepticism,
absolutely.
or
Yeah.
like it's cool you're suspicious, but these people over at Nook Gaming weren't. You should read the review.
Absolutely.
Right.
I would say
I've literally
It's social
done that.
cred.
it's
Yeah.
cool. You're an ignorant ass, but these other people are not.
Yeah.
Say it that way.
Yeah.
And it
If you
really
read this article, it
Yeah.
will show you that it's legit. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you don't like it, but these other 500,000 people like it. So why don't you
Yeah.
go ahead and look over there?
And think of it. Okay.
No, I was just saying, and don't apologize for it.
Mhm.
So, like,
I know.
I am a college business professor with pink hair.
Mhm.
If you don't like it, I don't care.
it's so hard to do that at the family reunions.
Oh my
it
God.
is.
It's a nightmare
Okay.
trying to explain to my in-laws what a visual novel is.
It doesn't ever change. It
Yeah.
never changes.
Okay, that's
I've been
reassuring
doing-
in a way.
Digital media for 21 years now. I've been nominated for 11 awards. I've worked with a lot of names that people recognize. And my dad and mom were like, "So what are you doing?" So finally, this is like five,
It's
10
like
years
a
ago.
radio show.
Yeah.
Did you
and-
finally say that? Okay. never mind.
Yes. But I finally went to some conference in Vegas, and Leo Laporte was there. And at the time, he was still big on whatever G4 was. It's about the iterations, but he got big on a tech channel. And my dad watched that, so he knew who Leo Laporte was. So I did too, of course. And he was doing his podcasting thing. That's a whole long story. But I grabbed him one day. I said, we were doing a live show in the middle of the vendor floor, basically. And he was right there. I was like, "Hey, we do this show called Success Freaks. Would you come and talk to us for a few minutes?" Like, "Sure." And he came over, and I've got the picture to this day that somebody took with their cell phone. I gave him my seat, so he's sitting next to my partner, and I'm standing there with the headphones. So I'm always the one producing the show, and there we are doing our show.
Mhm.
And that's little. So I took the picture, like, "Hey, Dad, look at this." And, "Oh, that's Leo Laporte." "Yeah, and he's talking to that guy at the table." I'm like, "I'm standing. I am 6'7", man. And my dad is this short." I'm like, "I'm right there." Sometimes they'll never get it, right?
Mhm.
I like as an allegory, at least, Jesus couldn't do miracles in his hometown.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, that is yes.
As an, however you take that, when you go home, you are that kid that they raised, or that person that they hate because it's that kind of law. I don't know. Right? Think of it as an airplane. Right? There are 4 million people in Atlanta, probably more than that right now. All these cars running around.
They're
They're
all
just doing
attracted.
this, and you're going to where you're going on that airplane.
Mhm.
And you and the 100 people on that plane get it. And whenever you land in, maybe they'll get it more.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. So just keep doing what I'm doing. Be the cult leader. Be okay with it not being popular in the hometown.
Absolutely.
I got a
I can do
feeling we're
that.
gonna see a headline where this goes sideways, and I didn't mean it to. Like, just be awesome together. Created this cult. Like, that's it. Yeah, you got
I'll
Lovely.
gladly create a visual novel cult, but that'll take some time. You'll have to be the one in charge of that.
it.
You have more charisma.
Aw.
You're the face of it. You're the face of it. I'll write your
We got
scripts.
time for a few more questions.
By
And-
the way, the link for that game is in the Discord and the Be Awesome together.
Awesome.
All right.
It's only 10 hours to beat.
Oh, um,
Don't piss off Judah.
I
You know what I mean?
So-
love this thing. We got 5 minutes left.
want to go. We're talking about going home, right?
Oh,
Yes.
let's
You
go.
talked about gender bending cosplay. You had to already explain what cosplay was. So how did that go in your family and your community? How did that get received? Like, wait a minute, what are you dressing as?
Right. So, like you, my parents have no clue what I do, no matter how much I present it to them. My mother just watched a
I was gonna say,
show
did
that
she
I
watch your
that I worked
documentary?
on. I don't even know if she watched my documentary. One of my TV shows she just watched maybe 3 weeks ago, and since she likes the show, now she's like, "Oh, this is what you." The first time she took interest in it, my
Oh my
father is clueless. He doesn't know what I do. He doesn't care. You know, come home, let's eat, let's hang out. Explaining. Luckily, I was an exotic child that took a risk and pushed the envelope. So with that, I had a family or created a family that said, "Oh, you know, Bar's at it again. What is he doing now? He's not hurting anybody. Are the grades up? His grades are good. Is he in trouble? He's not in trouble. So let him play. Let's just see what's going to come out of it." And having that type of support, although they didn't know it was support, just gave me so much confidence to take risks and do me, because I knew I always had family members that I could go home to that were not going to chastise me for whatever decisions I made. My sister's awesome, and I was blessed to have all of these cousins in my age group that just rolled with me because I had fun. I created fun, and I created opportunities that most kids didn't create. Again, I had my TV show.
I was gonna say TV,
I had
dance.
the dance thing, so we were getting into concerts, we were going to shows, we were meeting celebrities at an early age because of me. So they were like, you know what? You don't hurt anyone. You don't seem to get hurt. So we're just gonna flow. A lot of my counterparts could only go places because I was going. Like
Mhm.
their parents would say, "Is Var going? Yeah, he's going. Okay, you can go." And I mean, this is when we have fake IDs. They were like, "I know his fake IDs.
Bar was
Great."
going some places.
So yeah, it was. I explain it, but I don't have to get chastised. They'll question it. What are you doing? Why is your hair like that? What are you? Why is the slits up on your costume and your your thighs are out? Oh, this is Raven. This is such and such. Oh, okay. And they're done for the
That's
most
awesome
part.
And-
that they
Yeah.
get there.
Doesn't it eventually just become, it's just bar.
Yes.
I don't understand. It's bar.
I when I was younger, and I think back now, there was a lot of bar and NIM scenarios when I was not even there. So it was like bar and NIM was there. Oh, that's just bar and NIM, and I'm like, I didn't go. Like I'm not there. How is it me and NIM? So I realized early because I did so much, and I pushed the envelope so hard sometimes for myself that it just became easy to say that's just bar. And
Yeah.
that was actually a blessing. At the time, I felt like, oh, you're not giving me the attention I want. But it was a blessing.
They were actually seeing you, even though you didn't know they were.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's the best thing you can give somebody is to actually see them.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
see them for who they really are.
And although they didn't understand everything I was doing, they understood that I was not the typical person that they were used to, and
Yeah.
that was good enough.
Yeah, my dad's a preacher, so they don't understand who I am, but that's okay.
No.
All right, so we're almost there.
We got 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a. Yeah, you're right. You're not right. So you talk for a living. It's like, but no, he does it. He's like, well, so what do you do now? I'm like, same thing I've done for 20 years, man. I've just had some day jobs to help fund it. Anyway, so you thought this was a free show, and you're incorrect. We will charge you
What?
by taking out your phone and going to Linktree
Oh yeah.
/ Be Awesome Together.
Yeah, it's linktr.ee/beawesometogether.
And please
Oh.
like, subscribe, join in. We are building our community every day, and this is what we do. She's a full-on legit professor.
Most days.
I'm a guy who likes to have a lot of experience and share stories. And so between the two of us and our guests that we have on, we will talk to anybody about anything as far as creating. You know a lot about authorship
I do.
and social media
Oh my gosh.
and a lot of other things. I've done digital media for, like I said, 21 years.
He
and
knows
other things.
ChatGPT.
Oh, we got a comment from the
Ooh,
chat.
we love that.
Try this again. All right. So Twitch, this geek girl said, "Hi, building a community is hard. If you're starting with no community, how do you find and market to the community in your niche so you can build your community?"
So I'm gonna start and we'll go this way. So the first thing I would tell you is find other people who have your niche and start having conversations with them. And if you can get on their podcast or their show or collab with them on social media, that's a great way to go ahead and find that target audience and find that niche that's already there. Do it in a respectful manner, be a part of their community, add to that community, and people will see you participating and collaborating, and then that will help build your community as well. So for authors, there's like a whole big author group, and they all support each other by being on each other's podcast, by talking about each other's books. So like my friend who writes, Bob, he writes about a redneck wizard with a crippling meth addiction. Surprisingly, that's not for everybody, but his
But there's
buddy,
a cult, so we always
yeah,
promote
there
it.
is a
you know.
cult. But then there's Ben who writes about otter shapeshifters. So if that's your thing, he's going to send you over to Ben, or if something else, he's got another author. So find a community that's already there and help build it, and then build your own out of sight of that. So that's what I would do.
For me, I know I teach a lot of stuff like this. I ask people to really look at themselves, look within themselves, and see if you have your niche actually defined. Is it something you want it to be, or is it something that it is? That question is necessary for you to reach out and connect with the people you need to connect with to grow your brand. So once you do that, as she stated, it is all kind of people that do everything. You can find someone that does everything you can think of and start reaching out to those people and talking. And if it's a product you're selling, take some risks, take some chances, go do some things pro bono just to see what the focus group, what the
Yeah, yeah.
response is to
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, and we're out of time, so I'll keep mine short. When you reach out, one, you have to ask. You have to. I thought just putting something in our community for Dragon Con, I was like, hey, I'm here as part of the spokesperson for Dragon Con. I'd love to answer your questions about your shows. I had to then go out to shows and go, can I come be on your show? Do that. Don't be afraid. You're already getting to know by sitting here and not talking to anybody. Then it is. I highly, highly, highly recommend listen to something they do and then quote it, because AI is really good at that right now. I'm getting so many AI across the board on my shows of this guest would be great, and they pull something you said because AI can transcribe or pulls from a transcription from YouTube or whatever, and they'll throw something. But make sure you relate. This is how I could be on your show. This is what I want to ask you about. This is what I want to talk to you about. Because just flat out going, hey, let me talk about my cosplay or my game or my this, it gets a lot of doors closed. So, but ask and keep practicing asking, because you'll get a yes at some point, and it'll change your life.
Yeah, have something to offer. That's what you were saying.
And
Have
that's
something
exactly
to
it.
offer, please.
So Charles, where can they find you?
Linktree/RGOP42, because it's Rock Out Podcasting and 42's Answer to Life, Universe, and everything, man.
Bar, where can they find you, honey?
You can find me at Bar Fox, that's with 2 R's, 2 X's, or at Cosplay Your Way. Or you can watch the documentary on Amazon Prime or Tubi. It's on Tubi as well.
So go watch his documentary because that's the biggest way you can support him. My name's Tara Burton. You can find me at taraburton.com. And don't forget Linktree/Be Awesome Together. And please like us on Facebook because we need 100 people to stream. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for
Thank
coming. We
you.
appreciate you.
Have a wonderful